Welcome back, everyone, to another Company Fears 2 replay cast. And this time, it's going to be 4v4. Let's get this started right off the bat because it's going to be relatively long. The players are going to be Zed, Captain Hook, who's AFK, Rocket Machine, and Sakis Mondale, who is, of course, the person who sent in the replay. And he's going to be playing as the USF, of course. The enemies, Milf Jaeger, Jaeger Major, Z-Maniac, and Hans Rauter. Damn, every time I open this game, it's very loud. Anyway, so it's how many Wehrmachts? 3 Wehrmachts and 1 OKW versus a Brit, 2 Soviets, and the USF. Map is, of course, like Lays, one of the most annoying 4v4 maps because of all the snow, really. And in the center, of course, there's a town. The VPs are relatively easy to defend on the flanks, relatively hard in the center. The fuel points are relatively easy to defend for one of the two sides, but there's some cutoffs that are pretty easy to take care of. So, pretty good map when it comes to the points. It's just annoying because of the snow. And right now we'll see how this goes. Already Hans Rauter picking the elite troops, so we already know what he's going for. I wonder what everybody else is going to try to go for. So lots of riflemen for Sakis. He's going to try to put as much pressure on this OKW player as possible in the early game. Of course, it's going to be hard because of these buildings. The buildings are going to allow the Volksgrenadiers some pretty good ways to neutralize the threat of the riflemen, or at least make sure that they're not quite as strong as they could be. Sturm Pioneers trying to get into the building. That's a very, very bad idea because this one does not have any windows in the south. Also, the Sturm Pioneers were derping, and you saw the results. They get just absolutely obliterated by the American infantry. American infantry can come in and capture the fuel point, and right now, all is looking good on the right side. All is also looking good on the left side for the Allies, except for the fact that this German player over here, Hans Rauter, has managed to capture the cutoff point to the fuel. So, no fuel right now for the Allies on the left, and he's put up a machine gun in this building, so that's also pretty good. And he's got a mortar to support it, and another machine gun down here. So, Hans Rauter going with a lot of support weapons, even going for a second mortar. Definitely can put up some pressure on this cutoff point and protect it from enemy incursions. So, Germans doing well on the left side, relatively, and Allies doing well on the right side. But, of course, the right side can't really do that well forever. As you can see, Z-Maniac is coming in to help with his Grenadiers, and the Riflemen are going to have to escape out of there. Looks like one of the Rifleman squads somehow got wiped out. That's, of course, pretty bad already. And he's going to need to find some way to defend this, although there's really no way. The Grenadiers can easily capture this thing. It looks like a stalemate. It has set over the center, so we have Rocket Machine just kind of exchanging some fire with these MG42s, but nothing more is coming of it. And where's the 4th player for the Allies? Captain Hook. Well, he's coming down here helping out Zed, and yeah, it's not working out for him. He's getting his rifleman, his conscripts just kind of suppressed by this machine gun. Molotov is going to come through from Zed, but is it going to be enough? Probably not. The MG can just kind of get out of the building and then set up again in it when the fire's out. So yeah, the Allies not in the best positions. Looks like an ambulance will be brought out just to put in that extra bit of support, extra reinforcement on the field and all of that. And that's you know, gonna help him out in at least maintaining the VP. If he can keep the VP at least, well, the Allies are gonna have the triple cap, so that's pretty good for them. Grenadiers pushing in, yeah, good placement of that machine gun is going to prevent them from destroying the mortar crew. Although the mortar crew, to be honest, it's not really that much of a threat to the Germans because the Germans have 2 mortars over here, whereas the Allies only have 1. Although, that's about to be changed. 3-inch mortar in placement, can get some shots off, and looks like we're going to have, wow, that was a pretty bad move, I think. He decided to just throw some flares on the building and get out. What I would have done is just use smoke. Get the smoke in and flank him. Actually, there was a second machine gun as well. He's rushing for the house. Can he get there? Okay. Okay, bit of a hiccup, sorry. I thought for 1 second that Oh god. I've never had hiccups while casting. Really now. Okay, good grenades. Just pretty much oh my god. Pretty much smashing these grenadiers. Okay, now I need to drink. Shit. Okay, I should be fine now. I'm sorry. Ooh, that was an amazing grenade from these Volksgrenadiers. What the heck? Model 24 grenades. What? They switch around incendiary grenades when they get the assault package? Yeah, okay. I actually never noticed this. I knew that they had the smoke, but I didn't know that they had the anti-infantry. Anyway, well done actually using that. Clearly, Sakis did not expect that, and he lost another rifleman squad. So at this point, he's down to no riflemen, or at least only one of them, and that's very, very bad for him. But as you can see, the Allies are already getting a very nasty VP lead. Triple cap, if they can maintain this, well, the Germans are going to have 5 more minutes to go, and then they're going to lose. So, of course, Germans, to break this stalemate, are coming in with the flame half-track. That's going to clear up the center rather nicely, although there's the problem of this anti-tank gun, so they're going to need to be careful about it. They're bringing up a lot of machine guns to help out this push, and yeah, they're coming in with the flame half-track, and the anti-tank gun, unfortunately, will not turn fast enough to keep up with this thing. And also, it would be pretty bad for the 3-inch mortar emplacement if the flame half-track can get some good flames off on there. Looks like in the north, predictably, just one rifleman squad is not enough to fight these Germans, and he's going to have to escape. So Milfjäger has total control over the north. Let's see, or rather northeast. Let's see if he can solidify that, put up some defensive emplacements, and of course, his priority number 1 would be to capture this VP. Otherwise, well, things are not going to go well for the Germans at all. Airborne is picked for Sakis, and he's going to get some Pathfinders. That's okay. That's an okay choice. And he's gone for Lieutenant, so kind of replenishing his infantry with some unconventional units. Well, not really unconventional when it comes to the Lieutenant, but still. Getting some units that are not riflemen, at least. And, ooh, nice. 1 Grenadier squad down. Molotovs himself takes the machine gun. Still, though, the Germans have control over the center and the east, so not looking all that good for the Allies, or at least not as good as it was before. They still have the left side. They've still got a few Maxims covering this, so they need to be careful about not letting, 2 points fall to the enemy. They can let the Germans have 1, but they can't really let them have 2 or 3. And they can't really let them push up this aggressively on their structures, of course. So here comes the grenade, but it's not enough. I mean, they need to be more aggressively defending, as in they need to push and try to do something about this Wehrmacht threat to their, buildings. Because if they lose this mortar pit, they're going to lose a very, very strong sort of weapon of area control around here. And the Germans are going to have the local superiority when it comes to artillery and mortars and all of that. And they don't want that to happen because it's turning pretty rapidly into a stalemate. So if the Germans have the better mortars, the better sort of light artillery, indirect fire, the mortars are going to have time to pay for themselves off. And this is not going to be good for the Allies. Of course, as you can see, the mortar half-track as well, making usage of the concentration, as in the blobbing of these two infantry sections, getting a lot of damage. And in the center, the Allies are, or center left really, the Allies are pushing, but they're going to be stopped eventually by a couple of machine guns. So the Allies really lacking when it comes to just mortars, honestly. Mortars, light artillery, and all of that. I feel like they should be trying to get more of this. And finally, the mortar pit goes down to the fire of this mortar half-track. So at this point, really, if I were the Allies, I would try to get myself some 120mm mortars. Of course, Zed does have 120mm mortar. More of this would be good. However, it seems like the Germans are also pushing in with vehicles, and the Allies are really lacking when it comes to anti-tank defenses. So that's not looking all that good. In the east, it seems like, yeah, Airborne Squad along with the Pathfinders plus the Lieutenant. I think that the Volksgrenadiers will not be able to stand against this. And the question really is, can the Americans push in and capture the points over here, the VPs and all of that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. There's no machine guns though, so it's probably just doable. I mean, if the American blob over here just pushes in, yeah. Where's the ambulance? It's back at base. Okay. Again, if the American blob pushes in, it's gonna have an easy time. And looks like the Germans finally figured out how to deal with the Maxim. Just send the flame half-track at it. Where are the anti-tank guns? Where are the vehicles for the Allies? I do not know. Where's the AT guns? Build some AT guns, man. Okay, so one of them is here, but why isn't it coming in and helping out against this flame half-track? The Germans are getting AT, and they didn't even see any vehicles from the Allies, and now they do, T-70. And once they see the T-70, they're going to bring in the Panzerschrecks and just deal with it, or something like that. Yeah, yet more Panzerschrecks coming through. That's pretty good. Americans pushing in. Might not be the best idea to push in the lieutenant close to the Sturmpioneer squad, but the Sturmpioneer squad gets out of that grenade and is going to try to escape. Of course, it seems like the Germans are kind of caught with their pants down. They were bringing up their supply half-track over here, and this might not be the best time to set this thing up. And yeah, the airborne should be able to just destroy these Volksgrenadiers at close range. Although, no, don't move into the arc of fire of the machine gun. Oh no. He was trying to also set up a demo charge with the airborne to blow up the bunker, but unfortunately it's not going to work. And yeah, the infantry is going to have to escape out of there. Light tank plus a couple of conscripts getting the cutoff on the fuel point, but the fuel point is being captured by the Panzergrenadiers. So that's not very good. Their own fuel point is falling, and the other fuel point is under the control of the Germans, of course. So right now, things are not looking all that good for the Allies. They're about to lose their resources, and well, if they lose those, what are they gonna do? Really, the Germans have the better late game, and so yeah. Centauri A-tank for rocket machine. I'm not sure that this is the best idea, but it's gonna be okay, I guess, here. There's no Panzerschrecks, and yeah, look at that, lots of damage coming in, and he can maybe wipe out one of these squads. Nah. Then he can destroy these machine guns. He can just destroy those. And the Allies are severely lacking when it comes to anti-infantry at this point. They're severely lacking when it comes to everything, to be honest. Like, they can't deal with the German infantry on the left side. They can't deal with the, machine guns here. They can't deal with the vehicles. Well, finally, the Centaur, making his presence felt, and oh, that was an amazing crush. But still, other than the center, the Allies are in big trouble. Sakis is finally getting some good infantry working, and if he can reinforce all of these guys, which is not, Oh, damn. I was gonna say, it's not just, how can you say it? It's like, he doesn't have a lot of manpower. Like, he needs some more manpower, and he needs to lose less units when he fights. And the incendiary rounds from these support guns are very annoying, but he can just pull back. Okay. So again, not very guaranteed that Sakis is going to be able to do too much 1v1 against the OKW player. In the center, it looks like the Panzerschrecks plus some Panzergrenadiers, Panzerfausts, just forcing back this Centaur. And once the Centaur's back, I think that the German infantry can take care of this area rather easily. There's only the problem with this machine gun. Where are the mortars? I do not know. But if the mortars come in, they can easily deal with the Vickers. In the west, left-hand side, it seems like, yeah, we have Hans Reuter just coming in with his infantry spam, and it's working out relatively well because the Soviets haven't brought in T-70s over here. They've just got conscripts, and the conscripts are getting pinned down by this machine gun rather easily. So things are looking pretty bad for the Soviets, and if these Panzergrenadiers can get into the T-70, that's going to be pretty bad. Or not the T-70, the Su-76, but the T-70 comes in, and here comes the wipe on one of those Panzergrenadiers thanks to the 120mm mortar. And now I think the T-70 can clean up this flank rather nicely. So the Allies getting a little bit back into this, but of course, the center is captured by the Germans. Let's see, Sakis is going to try a flank. That's a pretty good decision, although there's nothing here. So I guess he's flanking against nothing. That's still better than not flanking against nothing. Alright, so the Allies establishing themselves on the flanks once again. And they're down to 330, or rather 84 VPs. And the Germans are down to 226. There goes that squad. Centaur getting his, getting his paycheck. Earning it very, very much. And, oh, T-70 is dead. So Germans finally getting some anti-tank guns, and that's going to spell the end of the T-70. Unfortunately for the Allies, there's also some nasty anti-infantry in this blob. Here comes some grenades. This could be dangerous, but it's just too spread out. More grenades. Unfortunately, the guards were more clumped up, and so they're going to just absolutely obliterate these Soviet infantry units, and they're going to steal the DP light machine gun as well. So that squad is now going to be rather deadly. It seems like the Flame Half-Track is just trying its damnest best to help out against the infantry over here, and it's doing a pretty good job at that, but unfortunately the German infantry is just not up to snuff, and the American riflemen, airborne, and lieutenant are just going to have an easy time cleaning up the rest of this, destroying the Flame Half-Track with a nice anti-tank grenade and protecting the anti-tank gun as well. So now they're going to have, the anti-tank gun still under their control. Oh, airborne absolutely shredding that Volksgrenadier squad using the, I guess, focused fire, that thing is called. That ability. Using that ability to good effect, almost getting wiped out by a grenade, but that was worth it to wipe out an enemy squad, of course. And yeah, so armor is starting to be fielded. We have Shermans coming in from the Americans. We have the Centaur, of course, from the Brits. I wonder if he's going to go for something else from Tier 3. I think he might want to go for a Firefly. Might want to go for a Firefly just to get the extra anti-late game. We have T-34, not T-34, sorry, Katyusha and Su-76 and T-34 from the Soviets. But the Germans also getting their own armor. We have a bunch of Panzer IVs coming in. And the Panzer IVs, of course, they're very angry at the Centaur. The Centaur bounces and misses, or rather makes the Germans miss. So the God Centaur, look at this, they're all just missing and bouncing, and that's absolutely hilarious because that allows this there's an anti-tank gun here, no, it's a Su-76, to come in from the flank using the marked vehicle, destroys one of the Panzer IVs, a massive, that was a fragmentation bombing, was it? So a massive friendly fire comes in from the Germans, and actually one of these Panzer IVs is very damaged. Can the Su-76 finish him off? No, he derps. He derps, and he's going to be destroyed by the other Panzer IVs and the anti-tank gun. That's unfortunate, but the German tanks taking a lot of damage, a lot more than they probably wanted. And the God Centaur is still around and kicking. So that's pretty bad. Katyusha barrage doesn't really seem like it's doing all that much damage. And at this point, yeah. It seems like the Allies are still having their own problems with infantry and all of that, but at least they're situated. They've got a decent defensive line set up. They've got some units. And Sakis is just constantly coming in. Unfortunately, his airborne is in trouble. He should really run away. Yeah, okay, he does. Sherman's easily able to just blow these Volksgrenadiers to bits, but he's gonna need to find some way to defend this VP because he keeps just losing it. And well, if the Germans can come in and capture this thing every time, well, it's not that great for him. It looks like the Sherman, oh no, okay, so the Sherman's gonna use the smoke to pretty good effect. Comes in, just kind of shoots at the Regenerator, but this is kind of a derp match. I think the Sherman's gonna lose though. What is this? I mean, the Sherman HE rounds don't really do a lot of damage to units and buildings, so yeah. He's gonna have to escape. Panzerfaust comes in, but it's not fast enough because, yeah, it's just not in range anymore. And main gun destroyed is just not enough as well, because, again, he's gonna survive and repair himself. Grenade. Misses. Misses. Was that 2 grenades? Well, there was 1 American grenade and 1 German grenade. Anyway, there's a KT on this side from Milfjäger. Oh, I was not expecting this. So, Sakis right now is in trouble because he can't counter the KT. Can't really counter the KT. He's got an anti-tank gun. That's, of course, going to be great. Of course, anti-tank gun pair dropped from the airborne doctrine. He's got 2 of them. So that's pretty fine, and that gives them some, some tools to try to deal with the King Tiger. But if the King Tiger gets any kind of infantry support, actually, he's gonna have an easy time against those AT guns. So it's gonna be all up to Milfjager really to lose his side. Of course, now Sakis, now that he knows that there's a KT, he's probably gonna go for a Jackson, just in case. So yes. You never know when the nasty KT might show up again and ruin your day, so you might as well get a Jackson. Bit of a lull in the fighting. The Allies still have a pretty good position. They had a triple cap, rather. The Germans are down to 100. And the Germans, despite them starting to get some armor, I would still say that they're behind in terms of units. Let's check out the pop caps. We have 15 plus 180, that's 195, 245 versus the Germans are at 16, 130, 245. Okay, so relatively even on both sides. Of course, the Germans have more late game units, and the Centaur is about to die, finally. Run! Run, Centaur! He survives! He survives, and a lot of Germans die to the incendiary barrage and the artillery. Actually, the Germans think they can push up with this. Looks like we have 3 Panzer IVs moving into the position of the British, and that's not very good. But here comes, at the last possible second, the Crocodile. The Crocodile can probably deal with most of everything that's coming through against this. The Centaur, unfortunately, is likely to die, as the Panzer IVs are really close to it. And actually, he's going to be abandoned. The god is alive. The god is here. And the Panzer IVs try to escape through the smoke. Here comes the counterattack from the Soviets coming in to help with the T-34s. The cavalry is here, but it's not enough to save the Centaur, I don't think. It's finally gonna die after so long, and the Panzer IV goes down. It's actually abandoned as well. It's just everything is getting abandoned. Tiger is here, and it's going to just absolutely slaughter all this infantry, but he's taking some massive damage as well from these T-34s and these allied units. Here comes a Panther trying to help out, and it's going to destroy a T-34-76. T-34-85 tries to get around the Tiger and can probably destroy it. I'm not sure. These Panzer IVs still fighting with the Crocodile. There goes the mortar half-track, or something. Jackson is coming in to support. Finally, that's going to save... No, it's not going to save the Crocodile, as it's destroyed by the Panther. Now, the Jackson itself is going to have to be saved from these 2 Panzer IVs. Okay, sorry, a bit of an interruption. Anyway, let's get back into it. The Jackson is going to die, of course, from these Panzer IVs. And, yeah, the T-34-76 can't really do too much against this. So, right now, the Allies just getting absolutely crushed in this tank fight. It seems like the other Panzer IV, though, might go down to the Sherman. It's a veteran C21, so it's also a pretty big loss, but yeah, okay. So let's take stock of what just happened. Okay, so the Germans now have a Tiger, a P4, and a Panther, and a KT, so 4 vehicles left, 3 of them, well, 2 of them heavy tanks, 1 of them an advanced medium. The Germans do have more than the Allies. The Allies have a Sherman and a T-34, but this Sherman and T-34 are doing pretty well. I mean, they're almost taking down the KT. The KT takes a lot of damage, of course, from the little P-47 rocket strafe, but the T-34 can't really deal with it on its own, and yeah, the Panzerfaust are going to come in, and the Tiger is going to finish off the T-34 as well. The Sherman being dead. Okay, so the Allies are out of tanks. The Allies are completely out of tanks. In terms of infantry, well, they still have some good infantry forces, though. So they still have something left. They can still try something out. And they shouldn't really be too behind when it comes to the VP game. Again, because of this infantry, they can maintain their map control as much as they were before. So coming in and capturing the point, pretty great. However, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this works. Here comes a grenade. Unfortunately, not working. And yeah, so the Germans will have a double cap on the Allies. The Allies were essentially had the Germans down to 52 points. They were almost able to win. If they had won that fight, well, it would have they would have definitely won at this point. I'm not sure exactly what happened in that fight, but in the end, the Germans came out on top. And now the Allies have to try to recover. A Jackson right now is probably a very good idea. Let's see, T-34-76, T-34-85. Where are the Fireflies, though? To be honest, I really disagree with the Crocodile. I think that the Firefly would have been a better choice for a rocket machine. Because just, to be completely honest, it was obvious what the Germans were going for. How many vehicles they had and all of that just screamed, oh look, I'm going to try to just rush you with tanks. And he should have gone with some Fireflies to counter that. So right now for the Germans, it's about trying to maintain this center VP and the center VP. The Allies again trying to push up with the T-34-76, but this is a bad idea. There's just too much German armor. They need to wait. They need to stand back and be defensive until they can get some kind of advantage on the Germans, until they can rebuild their forces. As you can see, this Panzer IV is throwing its life away. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Shouldn't throw away just an easy kill. And I mean, in the east right now, Sakis can do some pretty good work with his elite infantry. So, yes, this whole side is going pretty well for the Allies, but it's the center that's problematic. Because, of course, as you can see, the Tiger's just pushing through. I'm not sure what happened to the T-34-85, but it likely just died. Oh, no, it's actually still alive. And this Panzer IV is in trouble. The Tiger's also taking a lot of damage. So, yeah, the Panzer IV might go down to the T-34-85. Come on. Come on, T-34-85. Yep, bounces. And can he finish him off? Oh, the Tiger's coming in. He missed. And the Tiger finishes him off. The anti-tank gun shoots at the Tiger rather than at the Panzer IV. T-34-76 dies to the Panther. So once again, the Allies throwing in their units and failing. This time it was because they threw in units just haphazardly, one at a time. They did not wait until they had more forces. They did not wait until they replenished their losses fully. And that was big, big mistake. KT is not going to be easy to counter up here for Sakis. That was a bad move, moving the Jackson up to the smoke, and it's going to mean probably it has to run away. It might be able to steal the anti-tank gun. In fact, both of the anti-tank guns being down is actually very, very bad. It's allowing these P4s and the King Tiger to just, yeah, collapse the whole front here. That's pretty bad. Comet on the field. At least, ooh, that's a bad mistake by the KT. He pushed up way too far, but he's lucky that the Allies are just not strong right now. They don't have enough armor to really exploit this and punish the King Tiger. If there had been, like, for example, a couple of T-34s to help out with this, the KT would definitely be dead. Instead, the Comet is charging in alone and being very reckless, to be honest. He should be running away quicker. He should not be absolutely showing the rear armor to the Panzer IV. Right now, it's just, oh god. The Allies need to stop for a moment and gather up some forces, get some units back. They need to stop losing and sending their units into the fray when they're, of course, going to lose. And just gather up some forces, get themselves back on track. Otherwise, well, they're going to have a very bad time. They're going to keep losing their forces piecemeal, one by one, and the Germans are just going to build up and build up. Because the thing about the Germans is that their units generally are stronger one-on-one than the Allied units. So if this one-on-one just continues going, it's like the Germans are just going to kill enemy units while their units survive. Maybe they take a lot of damage, but they can repair them. And then eventually the German forces are going to grow so strong that the Allies can't deal with them anymore. And as you can see, this is kind of happening already. Z-Maniac has the Tiger, but he's also got a P4. We have a Panther and a Tiger Ace and an Ostwind from Hans Rauter. And this guy somehow stole a T-34-76 Jaeger Major. He's also got a Vet 2 P4 and an Ostwind. So lots of Ostwinds. And Milfjäger has a King Tiger and 2 Flamehetzers. That's, yeah, that's an interesting setup. I'm not sure if that's the best idea or not, but it's against a guy with a lot of good infantry, so it's not that bad, to be honest. Alright, here comes the push for the Tiger. This might be a bad idea. He's running straight into the anti-tank guns. Needs to be more careful. Ooh, 2 Jacksons pushing up on the Flamehetzers. This is probably going to be a massacre. The Flamehetzers can't deal with the Jacksons at all. And the German armor that can actually deal with the Allied tanks is being crushed by the Comet and an anti-tank gun. The KT was probably just repairing back at base. So right now, it's only now entering the fray. There goes the Panzer IV. The T-34 is dead. The Jacksons are trying to get some shots off on the KT, not having the best of lucks. And yeah, as you can see right now, we have the T-34-85 just kind of trying to come in, but yeah, the big Tiger is going to be escaping out of there rather easily. The Germans have a nice sort of blockhouse set up over the center. I mean, they've got the Tiger Ace, they've got the Panther, they've got bunkers, they've got Flakpanzer Ostwind. So the Allies are not going to have an easy time capturing the center. Right now, the Germans are down to 30 VPs, just 30. So if they can capture this right side, this is not going to be good for them because they would just need a minute and a half to defeat the Germans with a double cap as well. So if they can bring up all this infantry and just kind of park them at the VP, if they can bring up all this infantry and park them at the VP and prevent the Germans from capturing it, which is not what they're doing, and that's a very, very bad thing. They need to bring up every infantry unit that they have and park it on the VP. Even the combat engineers here, the Royal Engineers, do not repair that Comet. You could have just driven this infantry into the cap circle and held it for a minute and a half. I mean, that probably would have gone on for that long. Then probably he could have also brought in the Jacksons, disembarked the crews, and have them hold the cap as well. Honestly, the Allies could have won just right here, and then they're not. And we can see by the bar, I still want to, kind of obscure that. It's gonna go on for a little bit longer, so yeah. That is very unfortunate. Damn. At least the Allies are counterattacking a little bit, getting some damage off, and trying to capture the VP, of course. Here comes the Airborne with the Thompsons, just massacring those Volksgrenadiers. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy for them. However, the left side is in trouble now. We have a pretty massive push from Z-Maniac. He's got the Tiger, he's got the Brumbear, he's got the P4. And the Allies have some AT guns to stop this. They're charging in suicidally at Katyusha. I feel like this is a mistake. This is a misclick. It was supposed to be the T-34-85. Luckily, he survives. So, still, though, Su-85 and T-34-85 are not going to be enough to deal with this concentration of German armor. We have a nice flank coming through, actually. Hans Rauter is coming from behind the Allied lines, and this could be very, very bad. It could destroy the Firefly and the Comet and the Jacksons. Combined with a center push from these other German troops, it might work. However, the Panther charges in alone against 2 massive guns, 2 17-pounders, and that's pretty much gonna spell its doom. Also coming in with the Jacksons and the Sherman, destroying the Panther. And now the Tiger Ace is alone against all of this Allied infantry. Even these conscripts can throw an anti-tank grenade. Unfortunately, it seems like Zed has other things to worry about. Namely, his tanks are having some problems of the Panzer kind. It looks like one of the P4s is going to go down. Luckily, it bounces a T-34-85 round. The Tiger, though, is really the big issue here. Don't shoot at the Sturmpanzer Brumbear. Shoot at the Tiger, please. The Tiger Ace is also alive, and it's trying to escape. But it's likely just gonna die. And the right side is being capped by the Germans. The Germans are about to establish a triple cap. Tiger Ace still, alive and is gonna destroy the Comet. Also, the Firefly is probably just gonna have to escape. He gets the Tulip rockets, but he's very, very much pressed by the Tiger Ace. The Tiger Ace with its extra reload speed just destroying it easily. And that overextension from the Allied, rather the British tanks is going to cost dearly. The Tiger, however, is in trouble as well. It's got its engine not its engine damage, it's actually its gun damaged. And now the T-34-85 is trying to chase. Can it defeat it? Yes, probably. There's not really anything that's going to stop the T-34-85 from destroying the Tiger, although the Sturmpanzer can do some damage. Can it get the last shot in? No, it's not enough. He's still kind of alive, and he will be destroyed. That's absurd. That's absurd. And so the T-34-85 is going to be falling into the hands of the Allies rather than the Tiger being destroyed and both of those vehicles going down the drain. However, the SU-85 doesn't think so. He's trying to charge in, and at least he's going to finish off the Su-85, or the T-34-85, right? Yeah, the Katyusha barrage is going to do that. Right side, still a little bit of a push attempt from the infantry, doing quite well actually. Going to prevent the Germans from having the triple cap. The western side is being capped by some Panzer Grenadiers, but likely just they're going to go down to this T-34-76. Come on, kill him. Kill him. Okay, finally. So it's just a bit of a switcheroo fest. On the right side, the Germans capture the point. On the left side, the Allies capture the point. On the left side, the Allies lose the point. On the right side, the Germans lose the point. So for now, no one is really getting the upper hand, except of course the Germans have the center. So they've got that going for them. And yeah, so the Allies are going to need to find some way to gather up some tanks and try to strike back at the Germans. The Germans still have, you know, do they still have the KT? Yes, they do. Still got the KT. They've still got the Tiger. They've still got a lot of P4s, and they've still got the Tiger Ace. So this is not looking all that good. Of course, the problem with the Tiger Ace is that the longer it stays alive, the worse it is for the player that's controlling the Tiger Ace. Especially if it's just sitting here doing nothing. And so eventually the Allies are just going to have a player above the Germans. Like, a player over the Germans. Because Hans Rauter is going to be driven to uselessness rather quickly. And right now it seems like Zed is exploiting the temporary weakness of Z-Maniac, because his Tiger is repairing, destroys the Brimbear, and also the Panzer IV medium tank is about to go down to the T-34-76, out of control. And so the left side is completely under Allied domination. As you can see, only one Tiger left and some Panzer Grenadiers to stop this from happening. Not going to be enough. Comet back on the field for Rocket Machine. These Comets are a good idea, to be honest, because he needs something that doesn't take that much micro, and the Comets are pretty okay. He can get some good flanks off. It's La Glaze, so it's not really that hard. And if he can use these Comets correctly, he can get around the KT and provide some good support to his allies. Definitely. Here comes the Panzerwerfer on nothing. And this Tiger Ace is still sitting here doing nothing. Look at this. Free fuel income and 112 manpower income. That is absolutely crippling Hans Rauter's ability to get any other units on the field. So this is literally just like a 3v4 at this point, because it's not like Hans Rauter is doing anything for the Germans, whereas the Allies have all their players. Strafing support from the Typhoon is going to try to come in and do some damage to the Axis emplacements and infantry that's defending the right side VP. Doing quite well, and also getting some damage off on the Panther. The Panther from Jaeger Major, though, is going to face some stiff opposition soon. Where are the Jacksons? They're back at base repairing. Okay. So the Jacksons really need to be brought back in and help the Comet in the fight, especially since there's a KT around. The KT is taking a lot of damage from the 6-pounder and from the Comet. So what if there were the Jacksons to support? I would say that this KT would be in even worse trouble. More Typhoons coming in. He's going to get shot down into the snow, and the Comet actually goes down to the Panther. That's well done, along with the usage of this anti-tank gun, nicely using those armor-piercing Sabo rounds. Captured anti-tank gun, proving its worth to the German cause. And in the left, as you can see, the lone Tiger just can't deal with anything anymore, because it's just one tank. Like, no matter how strong it is, it's not going to have really the firepower or the resistance to deal with all of this allied sort of firepower. And at this point, yeah, the Tiger's going to escape. Almost dies. Escapes thanks to the Panzer Tactician, and might just live to fight another day. Jacksons are pushing up. Perhaps this is a bad idea. In fact, definitely this is a bad idea. Eating damage from Raketenwerfers and anti-tank guns and the Panther. So the Jackson goes down, and well, this is going to leave the Allies in a worse position on the right. They've lost their Comet, they've lost their Jacksons, but the left side, in comparison, is doing very, very well. Tiger almost going to go down. Shoot the Tiger, please, not the Panzerwerfer. That's the more important target. He shoots the Panzerwerfer. Can he finish off the Tiger? I hope so. Gets around him. Bounces. He's lucky that this anti-tank gun is not captured. I'm not sure exactly how it got decrewed here. And, yeah. Attempts to pop the Panzer Tactician, but it's not fast enough. In fact, what killed the T-34? The flak emplacement? No, it doesn't have the kill. What killed that T-34? I have no idea. But the T-34 also dies. Still, though, losing the T-34 for that Tiger is a pretty good trade because the Germans in the West are broken. And in the East, they're having some problems because they can't even deal with one Sherman, it seems. Where's the KT? The KT is just kind of derping back at base. And again, Hans Rauter not using this Tiger Ace. He's wasting so many resources. Look at this. Okay, so the Tiger Ace is like 90% fuel income and 25% manpower income. Okay, so 25% manpower income. If he's got 140, that would mean that he has extra. Well, he would rather have extra. God, I'm bad at maths. About 50 extra, 45 extra manpower per minute. And then with the 90% fuel, of course, his buddies have 32 fuel income, so he would have 29 more fuel income, around 30. So he's throwing away 50 manpower and 30 fuel per minute every time he's not using this Tiger Ace for anything, because it's effectively like if it's dead, right? Because it's not doing anything. It's just not there. And he's throwing away resources by not throwing the tank in the fight. By not using the tank, he's literally wasting resources for nothing. And that's just sad, because the whole premise of the elite troops is that you get a strong force already set up, then you get the Tiger Ace, and then use that to win the game. Unfortunately, it's not working out that way for the Germans. I mean, at least he's moving his infantry. Doing pretty well with that. And the left side, oh my god. Left side is going so well for the Allies, but the Germans are down to 10 points. Will they be able to capture this VP? Once again, what I would do is just send in the Sherman. Okay. Just take the Sherman, move it into the capping circle, and then get the crew out. Because then they can't cap if there's another infantry unit there, and the crew counts as an infantry unit. When the enemy has 7 VPs, I think the Sherman crew might be enough, because, I mean, there's nothing here. Like, if you can get the Sherman in here, you get the crew out, it's gonna flank the machine gun, and the grease guns are gonna kill the machine gun crew. So, once again, the Allies would win by just throwing units into the capping circle. By just literally throwing, who cares if they die? You're gonna win the game. And instead, the Sherman is going to be like, oh no, there's a King Tiger here, and run away. I feel like the Allies could have won right here. Yeah, they're going to try to use a Katyusha barrage to stop this cap, but even if they do kill the entire machine gun crew, the damage is done because the Axis have the VP neutralized. Now they're finally sending in some, some combat engineers, but it's a problem because these are combat engineers, so the KT can just really easily destroy them and clean them up. Whereas the Sherman, the tank itself, would kind of protect the crew, funnily enough, until it gets into the cap circle. And here comes the Panzerwerfers and all of that. The center is just such a fest of retarded. Alright, the Germans are down to 4 VPs. Can the Allies shave these off? Well, to be completely honest, if all of this Allied force on the left side attacked the center, I think it would have a relatively easy time capturing it. But we'll see. The right side is really where this is going to be decided, and the Tiger is really the key to this. Right now, it seems like the tank destroyers, the Comet, and the anti-tank guns are trying to get some damage off on the KT, and they're doing quite well. Opel Blitz cargo truck probably going to die, but this T-34-85, I'm not sure exactly what it's trying to do, but it's getting behind all of the German armor and all of that. It's taking a lot of damage, of course, from all this random anti-aircraft fire, King Tiger just barely survives. Gonna get saved by the Panzerschrecks, and right now in the main fight, it seems like the Shermans are trying to clean up this German infantry. Unfortunately, the anti-tank guns are cleaning up the Allied armor, so no one really coming out on top there. And the King Tiger once again surviving. That's just kind of sad. Another Tiger is on the field for Z-Maniac. What I like that he finally did is, instead of just headbutting on the left-hand side, he knows that he can't do anything there. He finally switches to the right side where his buddies are. Massive Katyusha barrage gonna wipe out most of that German infantry. And the Comet tries to come in to deal with the Tiger, but it's not a good idea. There's a lot of Panzerschrecks, and there's some anti-tank guns over here that are protecting and covering the rear of this Tiger, although the Tiger is definitely overextended. Once again, I'm not sure what these tanks are trying to do. Why are they just standing over the center? You could just build a machine. You have a machine gun bunker. Why are you keeping tanks over here to defend the point? You can use them to help out your allies. Look at this. Your allies are pushing back the allies. Your allies are pushing back the Americans and the British all the way back to their bases. If you can help push with them, maybe you can push them all the way to the base and destroy all of their units, thus, you know, make them surrender or something. Instead, they're just letting the overextended Tiger go down to the Sherman / Jackson combination. And I think this Tiger is going to go down. Come on. 8 rounds, but yeah, the Jackson comes in and finishes him off. Same thing for this. Like, you don't need all of this to stand here to defend this area. You can just kind of let, you know, a couple of anti-tank guns and a couple of infantry units defend this place, and then send the rest attacking the center, at least putting some pressure on the Germans. Maybe you're not gonna take the point from the Germans. Maybe you can't, but at least you're gonna put some pressure on the Germans and like confirm their their suspicion that they need to keep troops here. Like, eventually they're gonna realize that they don't need this here, and they're gonna use it somewhere else. Whereas if you were attacking there, well, maybe they wouldn't realize this, and they would just keep them there indefinitely. Damn this Stormtrooper squad, though. Holy shit, 58 kills, a flamethrower? Whatever, man, this squad is just doing its own thing. Here comes more kills for it with that bundle grenade. Yeah, it's just a bit of a Terminator squad.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
That seems like a singularly bad idea, Ostwind. Alright, can Yalis make this happen? So Sakis is pushing in his Shermans first. Oh no, I'm hiccuping again. Oh god, no. Okay. So Panzerwerfer getting nice kills on the Allied infantry. Right now, the Shermans, of course, are the ones that go in first. That was a very good idea, but they died, thanks to a well set up Axis AT defense sort of area. So right now, the Allied tank destroyers are in trouble because they don't have any infantry support, and as you can see, they're getting absolutely massacred by the Axis infantry and anti-tank guns. But here comes the Comet. He can flank the anti-tank guns and destroy them, and if you can destroy these anti-tank guns and sorry, also the MG over here is the key. If you can destroy the MGs, then the Allied infantry can come in and capture. The center is still held by the Germans, so this is crucial because the Allies are down to 66 points. So there's only 3 minutes of time left for the Allies to capture one of these points or not. So at this point, if they can't capture these VPs, the Germans are going to win by VPs regardless. And finally, the incendiary barrage comes in, destroys all the anti-tank guns. So if the Allies can come in right now and make a combined tank push, they're going to have a very, very, very easy time, I think, outflanking this position and capturing everything. I don't know anymore. It's just absurd. Not really quite sure what's happening. And S2, right? I'd even forgotten about Captain Hook's doctrine. He's got, of course, shock rifle frontline tactics, and he just got an S2 out of nowhere. We'll see if he can use this correctly. I mean, he's trying to come in and capture the center. Finally, someone tries to do something like that. Sorry. But, yeah, that's not going to go down too well. There's some S-mines as well there. So the Tiger is going to have an easy time defending that whole area. Nice flank coming in with the guards, but it's not enough. And the Axis just have such strong forces around here. I'm not sure that the Allies can break them. Here comes, of course, the Sherman trying to get some damage dealt, but the anti-tank gun will probably destroy him. Nice usage of the smoke actually getting in, and that's going to prevent the Germans from killing him too quickly. Finally, the Allies push into the center, and oh look, now when you need the Tiger there to be strong and invincible, oh look, it's not enough, because you don't have a well-defended, or rather well-structured defense set up. And now, look, once the Ostwind is dead, the infantry can come in easily and capture the point, but the MG bunker is the one that saves the day, because it's the MG bunker the one that has the suppression. So, oh look, you could have just left the MG bunker there the entire time and used the Tiger for something else. The Tiger right now, the Tiger Ace, is in deep trouble. It's got marked vehicle, and the Comet is just sticking to its butt like a glue. And it can probably defeat this thing. And all that waiting time, you know, not using this thing, it's gonna be for nothing, as it's gonna go down to the fire of these allied tanks, powerful added guns, and yep, there it goes, dead. So now the center is a lot weaker because there's no Tiger Ace. If the allied tanks can come in and deal with this stormtrooper horde, then they're gonna have a relatively easy time. But the Germans still have one ace up their sleeve, and it's literally an ace. Jaeger Major can bring out a Tiger Ace. He's still got his own. So if he can wait just a little bit more and get 800 manpower, he can bring another Tiger Ace. And I feel like that would be a very, very good move at this point in the game, because if you save the Tiger Ace for the literal last moment, it's gonna be a lot stronger. But master move from Rocket Machine brings in the Crocodile, and the Crocodile is going to be exactly what he needs to take care of this entire massive German infantry force. So, yeah, I feel like the Allies are about to capture the center, and if they can capture the center, they win. The Germans are at 4 VPs. The Allies are down to 40, so what can the Germans do? Well, they can send in a bunch of these vehicles and try to do something about this. Just letting them sit on the right side is not going to be enough. And right now, the Allies are capturing, and I think they're just going to have enough to win, because look at this. There's nothing that can stop them. Here comes a rocket barrage from Milfjäger and some light artillery barrages. Is it going to be enough to kill all of these Allied infantry squads? No, of course it isn't. Here comes a Stuka or Katyusha barrage or something, or no, that's actually a Panzerwerfer. But here comes Sagismundo's infantry, and the infantry is going to be enough to capture the point. There's just too much Allied bodies around the middle VP. It doesn't matter how many the Germans kill, and they are killing a lot. It's just not enough. The Allies have the point, and now it's going to be the end. Only 4 points left. They don't have the time to either even neutralize the point. There it goes, the Ostwind, and it's going to be the end. That was an absurd match. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm not even going to try to think about what was going on. And I'll see you soon. I'll try to fix my hiccups. Thanks for watching.